This is a catastrophe down here. And what the White House is proposing is more money to process and allow more illegals into the country. We need to do the opposite of that. And this is, you don't need to take my word for it. Listen to the deputy chief of the U.S. Border Patrol who was with us last night, and he told us in his own words, he said, "It's as if I'm at an open fire hydrant. I don't need more buckets to dump the water." He said, "I need to turn the flow off."
What's going on, everyone? Sauce Bikini here today, and welcome to Delusional Biden, okay? But Biden is delusional. So, as you saw from the intro, Biden is blaming House Republicans for the border collapse, and he says there's no crisis of illegal immigration. Now, I don't know what rock Biden seems to be sleeping on, but President Biden recently suggested that the border crisis is worsening at the fault of Republicans in Congress after not approving his request for more funding that would increase immigration processing. And I like the analogy that Johnson highlighted in the intro is that, hey, we want to turn off the faucet. We don't want to add more buckets to process the water flow. And that's a good analogy. When American people say they want a solution to the border crisis, they're not talking about processing the migrants coming in. We want to stop the flow. We want a wall. All right. We want to deport them back. We want to give those buckets back. Okay. Because we ain't ready to process it. We ain't going to drink from those buckets. All right. I think this is a huge oversight by the Democratic Party, right? And this game of keep blaming Republicans for all your shortcomings, all your failings, I'm tired of it, honestly, in politics, right? And maybe I could say it goes for both sides, but America, we need to demand politics surrounded around solutions, not narratives, not perception, not mudslinging. Because if an administration gets into power and in 4 years after they have not at least addressed some of the problems they set out to address, instead they use it as a carrot on a stick, Biden student loan forgiveness stuff, hold them accountable, say, yo, look, you're not working out. When you don't do your job, you get fired. I believe the same thing should be, the same standards and principles should apply in politics today. But I digress. Let's continue with this article. On my first day in office, I sent Congress a comprehensive piece of legislation that would completely overhaul what has been a broken immigration system for a long time, Biden said in his remarks last week. But congressional Republicans have refused to consider my comprehensive plan, and they rejected my recent request for an additional $3.5 billion to secure the border. They're not securing the border. They want to process the border. And the funds for 2,000 new asylum personnel. Look, there's one thing that a lot of Democrats, liberals will disagree with me on. This is one of them. Asylum seeking is not a human right in America. Sorry, you don't have a right to a nation accepting you into its society. No other nation plays this game but us. And I don't understand why. And to me, if you're a Democrat and you're offended by what I said, I know it's in your best interest to accept migrants because you see them as Democrat voters. Future Democratic voters. Oh, look, herd them in, because they help your side win. But I bet you if these same migrants, there were stats out there that 80% of them vote Republican, I think you'll have a different perception on the border issue. That's just my thoughts, right? So you saw from the intro, right? And I think I made my statement here. Johnson recounted an experience talking to, and that's what the intro you guys saw. In December, there was a record over 300,000 illegal immigrant migrations encounters at the border. That figure does not come into account of getaways. The Department of Homeland Security, this guy needs to get impeached. And this is why House Republicans are trying to impeach them. Alessandro Mayorkas has been hit with hearings on a resolution for him to be impeached by the House Republicans over his handling of the illegal immigration crisis at the southern border. Right? And the Democrats will try to play this off as, oh, no, this is a political hit job. They're just attacking him. No, you're not doing your job. This is dereliction of duty. Delusional. Biden says southern border crisis is not a crisis as illegal crossing surge, which is the 300,000 I just showed you. Biden told reporters on Saturday that there is no crisis at the southern border, even as illegal crossing surges to record highs. As he was leaving Camp David, Biden was asked by Fox News reporter Lucas Tomlinson whether he considered there to be a crisis at the southern border. Biden responds by saying that there was no crisis at the border and shifted to blame the situation to Republicans. Is this the leadership that Democrats vote for? Right? If you want power, what did Uncle Ben said? what comes with great power comes great responsibility. If you want to be leader of the free world, you have to take a responsibility for the policy positions that you have taken that has caused this mess. Republicans ripped into Biden's comments over his comments, pinning the blame on the Biden administration's policies. The architect of the open border crisis, which is Biden, is also delusional if he believes Republicans has been unwilling to secure it. Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin, I believe. The truth is that he is the most dishonest, corrupt, and incompetent president in American history. Since Biden took office, over 6.7 million illegal aliens have crossed over the southern border. There is a crisis at our southern border, and it's all at the hands of the White House and the Democratic Party. Right? And just in, Democrat Governor J.B. Pritzker, I don't know how to say his Plutzker. I don't know how to say that. Sorry, guys, if I butcher it. Here's a video that he made. He's complaining about how, Greg Abbott is sending migrants to his state, his city, and how it's overwhelming the system, and how he thinks this is political. But this is all the circumstance, the chain reactions of Biden's inaction to actually secure the borders. Let's take a look.
Not enough has been done. There's no doubt about that. And I think that the president needs to do more. The Congress needs to do more. Cities out here that are the target of this political game that Governor Abbott is playing are suffering. And here in Illinois, it's minus 29 degrees outside with the wind chill. We have migrants that arrive from Texas virtually every day, hundreds, and we don't have.
All Texas is doing to the Illinois governor is giving you a taste of what he's experiencing, because it seems like Democrats, they are so short-sighted, they can't see past their own needs, their own wants, their own worldview. They can't understand the other side and the problems that they're trying to fix, they're trying to solve. So he gave you a taste of his just a little taste of what he's dealing with at his border, and now look at you crumbling. And you say, hey, look, talk to your guy Biden and let us deport these people, because that's only federal government has power to deport illegal immigrants out of the country. States can't do that. So Greg Abbott's looking at you like, hey, look, my hands tied. I can't process these people. You're a sanctuary city, state. You take in migrants as they come. Help me out here. Here you go. Here's a bucket. And now they're sitting here crying. Manchin pushes Biden to act on the border crisis, the greatest crisis we're facing. I'm telling you, this is a political mistake if Biden doesn't address this. And I think he doesn't want to take the L here. Joe Manchin implores President Biden to take executive action to help secure the U.S. southern border ahead of the 2024 election, warning that the president's border crisis was the most serious crisis the country is facing. Manchin made the remarks during a Sunday interview, and he's talking about the border. Manchin said the border has to be fixed. We are told before Christmas we're going to stay here and get it done. Then all of a sudden, okay, you can go home now because we're getting some language done now. But we're writing, putting it to pen, and we're going to come back. And as soon as we come back, that was last week. We'll have something. Now this is the second week continue. This is the greatest crisis we're facing now in the border, and it's dangerous. Oh, but But there's no border crisis, says Joe Biden. There's no border crisis. You guys are making it up. Oh, but this is a conspiracy theory by the Republican party's conservatives. Right? Manchin said that the situation was so dire that if Congress could not pass something this week, Biden needs to declare a national emergency at the border, do what needs to be done to shut the border down and secure it until we can get a handle on things. Wow. From his own side. Look. A Democrat, Dean Phillips, who's running against Joe Biden, who hasn't been recognized at all, blasts Biden's handling of the border, an unmitigated, embarrassing, and unforgivable disaster. Dean Phillips ripped President Joe Biden during the Democratic presidential event this week for the collapse of the U.S. southern border. Phillips, who is a long shot candidate, made the remarks during the News Nation's Democratic presidential forum on Friday with other long shots candidates such as Cenk Uygur and Marianne Williamson. Phillips called the border crisis, Biden's border crisis, which experts have said is directly tied by his policies, as an unmitigated and outrageous remark. His remarks come with the context of explaining numerous issues where he disagrees with Biden. But Biden wants to blame Republicans, right? Biden wants to blame Republicans, but it's his own policies of allowing the water to flow freely, unrestricted. He don't want to touch the faucet. He just say, here, just get more buckets. Just get more buckets, because he benefit from the migrants coming in. This is all political. Biden is putting the needs of his party, the needs of his power, the needs of his democracy, which is code for their power, their dictatorship, as many will say, to boost their own means of solidifying political control over the government. That's the real conflict of interest here. And at this point, I don't understand how American people can continue voting for Joe Biden, the Democratic Party. This is why he's losing support. And before people come in here and call people, oh, racist and all this stuff, look, illegal migration hurts minorities the most because they're more vulnerable to job displacement that the illegal immigrants are going to cause. No one wants to talk about that negative side effect. Everyone wants to make it all emotional. Oh, where's your humanity? Where's your humanity for the very people that tax dollars are funded to a system, and people who have not paid into the system is reaping more benefit than people who are actually paying into the system? Make it make sense. You pay taxes, you deserve to pull resources out of it. But you're paying taxes, and people who have not paid anything get a benefit from what you're contributing. How's that fair? How's that humane? This is the problem with you. A lot of Democrats, a lot of liberals, they want to make their self-interest seem moral when it's not. That's not moral. You can't convince someone otherwise. Imagine working hard to put food on the table for your family, and a stranger come in, eat all the food, and he just leaves. He didn't contribute anything. He just came here, had a good time on your dime, and he left. That's what a lot of these migrants are doing. This is what these asylum seekers are doing. And I think American people are starting to get tired of it. And hey, look, Democrats, keep it up. I want you to keep doing this. I want you to keep acting like the border crisis doesn't exist. Because I know this will be your political downfall if you guys continue on this road. But I digress. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I really do appreciate you guys for watching to the end of the video. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.